What's good, Uganda? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another YouTube collaboration. For those people who are here, we definitely appreciate you being here. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. But today I have a really wonderful guest. A brother reached out to me here, and he's a really interesting YouTube channel. And we have the Living Bi-Continental YouTube channel. This is an African American brother and a Ugandan sister that are married. So we're gonna have a wonderful interview, brother. Go ahead and explain, introduce yourself to the people, brother.
Well, I'm Anthony,
and I'm Sarah,
and we live in Bi-Continental. Of course, I'm the African American.
I'm a Ugandan, the African.
So we had met back in 2015, and fell in love, got married in 2016, and fast forward, we started living in both America and Uganda. We tried to spend 6 months in Uganda a year, 6 months in America a year. So that's who we are.
Yep.
All right. And I like how you guys have that introduction. Yeah, y'all been practicing. So let me ask you this, brother, because, you know, not a lot of our African-American brothers want to go to the continent. A lot of brothers want to go to Colombia. They go to Dominican Republic and Brazil. And if brothers do go to Africa, a lot of them, they end up in the, Ghana and West Africa. What drew you to Uganda in the first place?
Well, in 2013, I was, my background is television production and filmmaking, and I'm a published author as well. So in 2013, I was working for a local political candidate here in St. Louis, Missouri. And at that time, he was running a mayoral campaign. And I had one of my writers that was for one of the online news zines that we had. She was from Uganda, and one day she was late turning in a report that she was assigned. So at that particular point, I asked her, why the report isn't there? Why they turning in your article? And she said, I had to attend the coronation of our king. I'm like, coronation of your king? I'd never heard of nothing like that, coming from America. We've always heard that there was kings and queens in Africa, but it sounded more so like a fantasy. So at that point, she had asked me, do you want to do a documentary she said, you should do a documentary on our king. I'm like, I would love to. I would love to do a documentary if you could make it happen. So she said, let me talk to the Queen Mother, and then I will get back to you. The next day, she contacted me, let me know she spoke with the Queen Mother and that they was okay with it. So I booked my ticket, flew down to Uganda. That was November of 2013. And when I got there, I fell completely in love with the country.
Okay, so how did you and her, Sarah? How did y'all actually? Do you remember how y'all met? How did y'all meet?
Yeah, we met at Mega Standard Supermarket is it Garden City? You know Garden City?
Yeah, Garden City.
Yeah, that's where we met. He was there to buy something, and I was actually, by then I was an intern trying to find a job where I can do my internship. Mm-hmm. So that's where we met, and he liked me. He said hi, and I said hi too. So we liked each other, and we moved on from there. And it wasn't too slow; it was fast. That's what I would say. So,
yeah. So that was 2015. 2015, and then we ended up marrying in 2016.
Mm. Well, let me ask you again, Sarah. So, what did you know about African Americans? Like, it was a black man from America, but what did you know about? Did you know that Black American? Did you know what a Black American person was? Did you know the history of African Americans before you met him?
Not really. I had no idea. All I would say is all I knew about African Americans was from the movies that we always watch. From the movies, shooting, doing this, stealing drugs. That's all we knew. So it was really a big thing to see one. And apart from that, to know who he really is, and he was way different from what we are seeing on the movies. So I was surprised, and I was like, wow, it's different. And later he told me all about everything. And even coming here, I'm seeing them, and they are different, like way different from the ones we see in the movie. The one we see in the movies are kind of bad, but they make them look bad. That's what I would say. But the real one, he's nice. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and we're gonna get into the purpose of your channel. But when you decided that you were gonna talk to brother Anthony, right?
Yes.
What did your family think? Because you're bringing this man from, from America, African American. He's not a Ugandan. How did your family and your friends, take him wanting to date you or marry you?
At the beginning, when I took him to my mom, my family, they met him, and my family are so simple and easy. My dad always said that as long as you like him, we are ready for him. Like, we are okay with him. We welcome him into the family. And some of the friends were always say that that is not gonna last. African Americans, what they also see in the movies, that they are not nice, stuff like that. But some of them say that he's nice. Some of them liked him so much, and some of them say it's not gonna last. So, but I was like, I'm in this alone, and this is me, and this is what I want. I love him. He's the one I want. So my family accepted him wholeheartedly. My mom accepted him. My dad accepted him. My sisters are in love with him. They love him so much.
Okay. So let me ask you this last question now. Did you have to pay a bribe? Because brothers always want to know, is there some kind of bribe price? How many cows you have to give? Was that something you had to do, or?
Okay, according to my culture, it's not cows. There are some cows that you have to pay like 100 cows, 10 cows. But for me, my culture, I'm from Uganda culture. So he had to come for an introduction. At first, he had to come to meet my dad first and my auntie just to introduce them to him. Then later he came for an introduction. Then on the introduction, he just brought the stuff that other people also bring, and like it's not like forcefully, like it's by choice. Like the first time he met my dad, he would have maybe met him and paid the bride price there and then, but he wanted to do the cow chores ceremony so that to do it the right way.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to do it the right way. So he didn't pay that much. I don't know. It's just it's a list, but not a big list. That's things you have to bring. Though the only thing that is big on that is the bride price that my dad asked for, and it's not that big. I won't say it cost $1 million. It might not be like even more than $200.
What was it? Oh, the TV? Yeah, so that wasn't expensive.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive, yeah.
Okay. So I guess now, since you got married in 2016, there are a lot of people, probably more than I know, because there's some people when I was in Uganda that there was another brother from St. Louis that that is married to an African American married to Ugandan. I thought it was actually you when you were telling me. You said it wasn't you. But why start a YouTube channel? Because why not? What brings you and your wife on to the platform, and what are you trying to achieve with the Living Bi-Continental YouTube channel?
Well, we want to show people that a lot of the things that you heard about the relationships of Africans and African Americans, they just really are not true. You've always heard that Africans hate African Americans. You heard that African Americans hate Africans. You heard that when African Americans go to Africa, we get scammed, we get treated bad. All they want, they chase us for money. We want to show that's not true. We want to also show people in America, that want to transition to Africa, that it's okay to take that transition slowly. If you want to repatriate. You don't have to make a fast move. Like right now we live on 2 continents. So we spend half the year in America, half the year in Uganda. And we do that because we have business ventures in both countries. and we have families in both countries, and we feel that it's important for us to spend time with both families, those relationships. We're into relationships. So what we want our audience is to see how important it is, how important Black love worldwide is, in that as Africans and African Americans, we do get along. We get along very well. We're very similar in many ways. We have a couple things, we have many things that we are different in, and those are fine. But mostly we have a lot of things that are more in common than different.
So let me when you met her, because when in talking about dating as a brother, overseas, most people will say, well, you married, you're dating a woman, she just wants you for a green card, or she just wants you for your money. So what was your family thinking when you told them, like, I met a lady from Africa? What were they thinking?
Well, my family always trusted me. I've always been a leader. So decisions I've made in my family, literally, they never pretty much been questioned, because I've always taken a leadership position in my family since I was young. So they've known I've always made good decisions. So it wasn't no doubt, no question that was a bad decision, or do she just want a green card? As a matter of fact, when I first met her, that's one of the things that we discussed, because at that time I wanted to just relocate 100% completely to Africa. And I told her that if you're looking to go to America, then you got the wrong person, because I'm not looking to move to America. I'm looking to settle here in Africa. And I guess she could tell you what she has said to that. When I told you that if you want to move to America, then it's the wrong, you got the wrong person.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in coming to America, like not at all. Like 100% wanted to stay in my country.
Yeah, so she was really strong about staying in Uganda. She loved her country, even to the point where I was ready to bring her to America, because I had to come to prepare our 19-year-old to go to college. So this is 2016, we married. 2015, we meet. 2016, we married. 2019 is when I first brought her to the U.S. So you can see that there was a long stretch before she came to the U.S. So the relationship was already built up. So it wasn't a situation to, I'm marrying him for a green card.
And we had a baby.
And we've already had a baby. At first, when we first initially wanted her to talk about her visiting the U.S., because for her to meet Junior, my oldest son, and for her to meet her in-laws, my mom, her, my sisters, So when we initially talked about that, we was trying to just get her a visitor's visa, because she was like, I only want to visit. I don't want a green card. I don't want to move there. So then we tried to get a visitor's visa, and we found out that by her being married, by us being married, she could not qualify for a visitor's visa. So she was rejected 2 times for a visitor's visa. So we had no choice but to file for a spousal visa in order for her to come visit the family.
Okay, what were some of the things, because, obviously, we talked a little bit before, Uganda has some of the most beautiful women in the world. Like, I was even in Brazil wishing that I was in Uganda, and it's a lot of nice, ladies that are, very intelligent, very nice. What was it about your wife that stood out, that you decided to want to pursue her over the other potential, ladies that was in Uganda?
I really appreciate that question. What stood out about Sarah was she was very authentic. She was very real. She never tried to hide herself, her true self. In Uganda or in many or other African countries I visit, you can meet a young lady and they don't want to take you home because they might be ashamed of where their home or their village, or they might think you're going to look down on them because you're from America. Sarah, she was like, this is who I am. She took me right to her home, and I was amazed. I'm like, wow, you brought me right to your home. You let me meet your sisters, because I first met her sisters. And her sisters, I'm talking about, when I say they love me, they treated me as if we grew up together. And Sarah was, she was really just open with me. She didn't have to be dialed up, didn't have to be glamorous for me. She came as who she was, and she just told me her story. She told me who she was, and she never tried to put makeup on me. She never tried to create a facade to hide behind. and she let me into who she really was. So that was what really attracted me most to her. Okay, she's gonna. I might get it later for this, but the thing that made me decide to marry her, one day we was upset with each other.
Oh.
So we was upset with each other. So she was mad. She went home, and she told her sister, "I'm upset with him." And then her sister was like, "You're not supposed to argue with him. You have to go back and you have to make things right, and you have to go take care of him." So she came back to the house and she was cleaning up and taking care of the house. I'm like, I'm scared now. Like, she's silent. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So she was like, my sister Fatty told me that I'm not supposed to argue with you, that I have to come take care of you. I was like, whoa. So from there, I was like, all right, it's official. We're going to marry her. Because the thing is that I know a lot of people could take that the wrong way, but it was meaningful to me that in the African culture, they value relationships. In America, if that same situation could have happened, they were like, man, him. No, you don't got to go apologize. And you need to stay here till he apologize to you. And it could have been something simple. It could have been we was upset with each other because I didn't like the way she folded the clothes, or maybe she asked me to wash the dishes. I didn't feel like washing the dishes. And we could get into a big spat about that, and people here would be like, "Oh, cut him off." I'm not saying everybody, but that's a right thing that we're used to. But there, it was like, no, you have to make that work. So I adore how they're so dedicated to relationships, and it was me that needed her. I needed the African wife. It wasn't vice versa. It wasn't her that needed me. It was for me, my inner needs, that I needed her.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because with your channel, you live in 6 months, in the St. Louis area, and you be coming back to Kampala, and for me coming to Uganda and trying to figure it out, it took me over 10 or 11 times before I actually figured out how to do things. And a lot of people, with the Kingana YouTube channel, obviously we try to, bring people together here and try to give advice. And obviously you've been able to do, living in the States for 6 months and then come in 6 months with your wife, and you have also young children now. What about some of the people who want to repatriate and move to Africa, but they don't have a job, they don't have a source of income and things like that? What advice would you give to people that are looking to, do what you did, come to find love and try to get footing and make a life for themselves in Uganda?
Well, that's simple. And I tell this to friends now, or people that I know now. I work from home. Here in the U.S., I work from home when I'm in Uganda. I'm a health insurance agent. As long as I have high-speed internet, I can work anywhere around the world. I'm licensed in over 20 states, so I'm working no matter. I make the same income no matter where I'm at. I could be in America, I could be in Uganda, I could be in Jamaica or Paris, and I'm going to earn the exact same living. So I would say find you an online job, something that you could do. There's many opportunities, 1099, where it's more so not a job, it's your career. So you could get into insurance sales. You could do English as a second language teacher. There's many different opportunities that you could do online. Find something online that you can do. Invest in the stock market so you can earn money that way. So, or create your own business, whether it's in the U.S. or whether it's in Uganda. But I would strongly suggest creating an income stream in the United States so you can get that U.S. dollar while you're in Uganda or other African countries. So with that, you need to find something that you can do online. There's many opportunities where you could get certified online. You can sell on Amazon online. So there's many opportunities out there. Research those opportunities so that you can find out exactly what is out there, what's available, and then you jump on board. You could be a YouTuber, and that's not the only solution, but there's many solutions out there that you can do.
Sir, let me ask you this, because when I talk about African American men wanting to come to Uganda, they'll be like, well, it seems nice, but African women, they're not interested in the Black American guy. They want to date white men. What would you say? Because a lot of there's a lot of men that watch Kinganda, and a lot of brothers are now getting more interested in wanting to date or court a Ugandan woman. But then I always hear that some guys are concerned because they feel like a lot of whites in Kenya, a lot of whites in Uganda, that some of the women there will favor the white man over them. What do you think about Black men in America and African American men possibly dating and marrying Ugandan women?
I think what can I say? I think for me, I'm okay. On my side, I'm okay with African American man, and I have a lot of friends that also say that they are okay with African American men. And there are some people in Uganda who also don't like white people. That's what I would say is because they have they treat them in a certain way, like white people treat girls there in a bad way. They think that as long as you can give them money, like they can do whatever they want to you. So for me, I feel that's wrong. Like there are also women there who are real. Maybe I would say like me, who are not after money. There are some who are after money. That's when you see those who are going after those white people. But there are some who are not after money, who are after love and care. They are after that. So like me, I'm after love and care. If he loves me, he cares about me. Money is something that can come later, just to take care of our family. But there are a lot of women there that are right. In fact, we're gonna start up a dating site where we're gonna matchmaking site. We're gonna get real ladies who are not after money and they are after love.
We're going to screen them. We're going to do extensive screening, and it won't just be Ugandan women. It'll be women all throughout the continent, and matching them with men throughout the diaspora.
They are there who are real, like who are real and are okay with African American men. Like of course, we are all black. That for me, that's what I would say. We are all black, and if someone is able to get married to a Ugandan man, that means that they are also able to get married to an African American man, as long as you show them the right picture, like of the real you. Like there are some men, African American, who are harsh. I'll say that. Maybe there are some that are harsh on women. Maybe one would say that I was dating an African American, they were like this and this, they were not nice. But not everyone is like that. As long as you show the woman the right you, the real you, and not to be too down on yourself, like just to please her, but to be the right man for her. I think that's a good thing.
It's a very, very good response. Let me also ask you this, because when I was in Uganda the last time for almost a year, I didn't think about the collaborations that African Americans and Africans could just in general do together. For example, I know like agribusiness is a big thing. I know you're talking about. I saw you on Dinah Samir's, not your wife, but you was there talking about how you have a plot of land there. You're going to be developing. There's so many things that Ugandans and African Americans can work on together. I know I've had a lot of success partnering with Ugandans, doing some things, Didi Nasello and Club Kinganda and things like that. And there's so many opportunities with agribusiness and stuff like that. How many opportunities are we missing by not working together and just perpetuating the beef all the time about how African Americans don't like this and that? What are we missing out on?
Oh, I don't.
You can take it.
For all I would say is, for one, when you are from America, when you are, for example, when we met, like if we are married together, he is able to purchase land in Uganda. So with me, like collaborating together, that's business. And if he purchased land, we are trying to invest in real estate. Real estate is a big business in Uganda where you build houses, maybe buying and selling of houses, buying and selling of land, but even houses for rental. So we are doing that, and it's a big opportunity. Then there are even more.
Yeah, so I think that as African Americans, we are truly missing out on great opportunities. The reason why I say that is because the entry level, the entry point to get into different businesses here in America is pretty high, meaning that you have to have a certain amount of capital to really push a business off the ground here in America. So let's say if you wanted to invest into a franchise here, a restaurant franchise, maybe you have to have $50,000 in capital liquid. But in Uganda, you could take $5,000 capital and you could start a restaurant that could become successful. Or you could take $5,000 and you could start a agribusiness. You could start a poultry farm. You could take less than $5,000 to start a poultry farm, a rabbit farm, even a piggery. So I think that if we look at it that way, understand that there are so many opportunities, and by us having a version eye when we go to Africa, we're able to see things that sometimes people on the ground cannot see. Vice versa, that's just like when they come here, they're able to see things that we're not able to see. So sometimes we say, oh, they're taking all our opportunities, but they're coming with a version set of eyes, and they're seeing different opportunities than we are seeing because we kind of jaded with what we're used to. So in short, we own a couple different plots of land. We own one plot of land where we built the structure for we built it originally for a rabbit farm, but Sarah now says she kind of want to do poultry farm, raise chicken on that particular land, which I'm okay with whatever she want to do with that one. So then we have that land, and when we go back, we have 2 other plots of land. Then when we go back, we're going to buy another plot, and we're going to start building apartments. So that's what we're going to spend our 6 months doing when we're in Uganda this time, is build some rental apartments. Then we have a chocolate manufacturing company in Uganda where we manufacture chocolate candy bars in our son's name. They're called Kari bars. And then, so we, in matter of fact, some of the candy bars.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so we
also gonna do a chalk manufacturing.
Yeah, chalk manufacturing business.
Yeah, because it's a huge business. Right. There, every school, every institution, they use chalk.
And her family really is going to run the chalk manufacturing business. Yeah. And her sister, she runs our chocolate manufacturing company. So we utilize family. So that's the opportunity. If you link up with Africans as an African American, you got an advantage. Because as I listen to your show many times, I hear you talk about how do you get citizenship, how do you get visas, work visas, different type of residence. So for me, I would say I cheated. I married a Ugandan, so naturally I'm going to be a Ugandan citizen when I go back because I get to apply for citizenship because we've been married over 3 years. Mm-hmm. So then now I qualify for citizenship. So I don't have to have that $50,000 or $100,000 in the bank to get a investment visa. I can get a visa or citizenship through marriage, because I'm married to a Ugandan. So my opportunities are different. Last thing I want to say is with that, now when it comes to negotiating things, sometimes my wife just go in there. She go in there and she could negotiate the price of the land. So therefore, they won't give me a price that's more unacceptable or raise the price because I'm African American. So she'll go in there, talk to them, and when we close the deal, oh, this is my husband. She bring me in.
And they're like, what? They're like, what? Why did you do this to us? Like, they want to earn a little more money because they might say that, okay, we are gonna charge him a little bit more because he don't know the money here, and
right,
like that's done anywhere. So, but after negotiating, I call him, he signed. They're like, oh, Sarah, and I'm like, when you take his money, you're taking my baby's money, like my kid's money. So.
And even if I go into a meeting, then they start speaking Luganda, I got my protection with me because she knows Luganda, that certain language. So
I know when they say wrong to him, and I'm gonna defend him because no one can say anything that I can understand. And he also do the same when we are here. There are some stuff that I cannot understand, and he always defend me. So I'm not gonna let anybody take advantage of him when I'm there. That's what I was.
Yeah, so and I was talking to my mom, right, just yesterday. My mom, I remember in 2018, I'd already came to Uganda like 3 times, and my mom has quite a disposition against, at least she did, against the African community, because that does kind of exist in America, depending on who you are. So she cried and begged me not to go to Uganda because she said that Ugandans Africans don't like us. That they're gonna do something to me and all this stuff. I'd already been there, but the success that I had last year was because of Africa. One of the brothers, Satati, that I got from Kenya, he created this platform didn't take off until he came, right? Until we started collaborating, and it's because of the Jonitas, the Kim Comics. They've helped me become successful. And now I talked to her just today. I said, now, don't you wish you wouldn't have said it about Africa? She said, yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I wouldn't have said that. I love Africa now. And I guess what I want to say is this, because you've been going to Uganda since 2013. And, because of that there's an African-American kind of rift with the African community that's been kind of going on for the last 30, 40 years. People will assume, when you go to Africa, that, people are not going to like you. Did you ever, Brother Anthony, feel that they didn't like you because you're African American or you're Black American, that you're discriminated against? Did you feel that way? Have you ever felt that way in Uganda?
Let me be honest with you, Brother O'Shea. I felt so discriminated against my whole life in America. Not once in Uganda. Not once. I mean, man, I'm telling you, the way they treat me, I cannot put it in words. I'm talking about everybody is so nice to me. The worst that happened to me is I was in town one time, near Old Taxi Park, and a police officer comes up to me and asked me, "Can I see your passport?" And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "What country are you from?" So I'm like, "I'm from America." "No, you're from Nigeria. You're a Nigerian." So I had to show him my U.S. passport because he thought I was a Nigerian. And I guess there was some issues maybe with Nigerians at that time. So that was the worst discrimination I've ever experienced in Uganda. And then let's go to Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, goodness, the way they treat me there is second to none. I mean, we could talk about Kenya. We could talk about South Africa. We could talk about Rwanda. I mean, we could talk about Ghana. Every country I've been to, literally, they treated me like their brother. When I'm in Uganda, everyone called me their brother. One of my best friends is Uganda. His name is Banner. So he'd be like, "You're my blood." When anytime he messaged me, like, "Hey, blood," he's so genuine. He comes to our house and he treats me like a Ugandan. As you know, in Uganda, if you visit somebody's house, you're supposed to bring some small things there. So he'll come to our house. When he comes, he'll have some small things with him. He'll have some fruit. He'll have some salt or sugar, because that's how the culture is. At first, I thought it was kind of strange. I'm like, man, I didn't understand it. But now that I've been indoctrinated into the culture, I get treated that way. Then I have another really good friend named Alfred down there. Alfred is hilarious. So he treats us the same. So every one of our friends, or every one of my friends down there, literally, they makes no difference between me and their fellow Ugandan brothers. So I don't receive any discrimination. Actually, I've received 100% love since I've been to the continent.
Let me also ask you, since you've been going to the continent, you talked about Sierra Leone, South Africa, those other countries. Why Uganda, though, over the other ones? Like, if you've been treated so nice in Sierra Leone, why did you choose Uganda over the other countries?
That's a good question. The reason why I choose Uganda, because Uganda is so peaceful. It's so serene. It's so peaceful. It's so green. Uganda is slow, and it's my speed. I don't enjoy the fast lane. I like the slow living. And that's what I seen in Uganda. It was slow, it was peaceful. People are so nice. It's very tropical. To me, I like the beauty of Uganda. Really, if you go to Fort Portal, even in Kampala, it's a bit cleaner than even some other countries I've been to. So in Sierra Leone, they treated me extremely nice, and that's my favorite food on the planet is Sierra Leone. But it was Uganda that made me fall in love, that made me feel like I was at home. And now the number one reason is because my son is from Uganda. So, our 2-year-old is from Uganda. Okay, you're from Uganda, but my reason is because our 2-year-old is from Uganda. So I have a piece of you.
I must be your number one reason.
No, that's why I said Kari is my number 2 reason. You're my number 1 reason. So those are my reasons. I just love Uganda. I mean, just put it plain and simple. I love it.
I do too. Let me ask you this because with people are talking about with coronavirus and travel restrictions, and they don't know if they should give Uganda a try. What do you think that Uganda has to offer that not only just African Americans, but there's a lot of Ugandans. Like the Afropolitan podcast, she's in the UK. She hasn't been back for a long time. There are a lot of Ugandans that email me. They're all different places. Some are in the Netherlands. And then you have a good Ugandan community in the UK, in the Waltham, Massachusetts area, and there people are debating on coming back. Do you think that Uganda is ready to receive back its citizens? Even the African American community, because we don't really have a tie to East Africa, but do you think that Uganda is ready for the return, or for brothers and sisters to come back and help develop?
Yeah, I think they yes, they are ready.
Okay, I would say she would know better than me. I would assume they're ready because they have welcomed me with open arms. I watch your show faithfully. I see how you're treated there. King Obatumba, I watch his show, so I haven't seen any strife that will show me that they're not ready. And I have a lot of friends that are African Americans that live in Uganda, and
they are welcome. Yeah. Like they love it there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me ask you this: for people who are looking at subscribing to your channel, what will they see on Living Bi-Continental?
Well, it's more of a vlog. It shows me and Sarah lifestyle, how it is for us living in 2 different countries on 2 different continents. It shows us, it shows our challenges that we face in both countries. It also we also give a picture into how Africans and African Americans, how it could be if we unify. The beauty of African and African Americans unifying. The benefits of us unifying. And so those are some of the things that they will receive. And then we talk a lot about Black love.
And also we'll also talk about the opportunities you can have in Africa when you come from when you come from America, and opportunities you have when you are from Uganda to America, like job opportunities, like how you ask us, like when you come here, what to invest in, stuff like that. We'll also talk about that. Most of the time, we'll talk about the positive stuff, not more about the negative. We'll talk more about positive.
The positive stuff is really important for us because, you have a lot of negativity on YouTube. You have a lot of YouTubers that are talking, that have had negative experiences in Africa, whatever their experiences are. But there are some of us who have had very positive experiences in Africa. And I think that side of the story needs to be told as well. So you're going to get that, that positive side of how things could be if you go to Africa. Kind of like, how do you, when you go to Africa, you have that US dollar, you have to convert it, you have to, transfer the US dollar to the Ugandan shilling. There's also some other things that you have to convert, our attitudes, our norms, our ways of living. Sometimes we have to convert those and then take on their culture. We have to learn, what is it that you expect from me? I'm a guest in your house. If someone comes to our house as a guest, we don't want them to come in our house and go into the kitchen and start moving saucepans around. It's us that do that, and they have to follow what we allow in our house. So those are some of the things that you will get on our channel. Is what are the most proper ways to I want to say behave when you're in Africa if you're from the diaspora, that you're going to get the best experience. Vice versa, what are the ways that, if you come from Africa to America, what are some of the do's and do nots so that you get the best experience? And most importantly, like we mentioned in the beginning, how can we end this these myths, these strifes between Africans and African Americans, and show that when we unify, things are much better than when we're apart.
And we'll also talk about like travel, where is best, like the places you can stay at, like where you can go visit, all those stuff like tourism. Yeah, so that you can have the best experience in another country. I once have had the best experience.
Well, you've been to New York.
I had the best experience
Atlanta,
in New York. Yeah, because I was there with my fashion.
Mississippi.
But I would say that I've been into the house too much. But we will talk all about that in experiences we got from different countries, like travel, all those stuff.
All right, so a lot of different things you guys will figure out by subscribing. Check them out. The first comment pinned to the top, and I really appreciate. Actually, Jonita wanted to do the interview because when she actually had read the email. We both have access to the email, so I read it first, and then she read it, and she was like, "I want to do the interview," but obviously, Move 70 and them turned the internet off, so we wasn't able to do it. So I wanted to make sure I knocked it out first. So it was such a great honor to meet both of you.
Likewise.
And hopefully I'm able to see you when you're back. Any last words you want to tell the Uganda people before we close it out?
I mean, the last words I have is that when Africans and African Americans connect, it's a beautiful thing. It's the most important thing. The biggest thing for our opposition, our shared oppressors, is for us not to connect with each other, for us not to love each other, for us to fight each other and be at war with each other. But when we connect with each other, we can grow, and we could grow in a positive way.
All right. Any last words from you, Sarah?
I think I would have said the same thing. Come to Africa. That's what I would say. Is there are a lot of opportunities there. There are a lot of opportunities that you can do, and the negative stuffs that you've been hearing about Africa, they are not right, they are not true. Like, it's better to experience it yourself than hearing it from someone else. That's what I would say.
All right. Well, guys, I definitely thank you so much for coming on, and make sure you go to the first comment pinned to the top, subscribe, hit the bell, and I really, really do thank you so much, and keep it real. Uganda forever. We're out.